The Medical Law and Ethics program is designed for students who really want to develop their expertise in legal and ethical issues in the field of medicine and life sciences more broadly. So that means that this can appeal to both students who have already studied law, who really want to develop their legal expertise in this area, but also students who come from the life sciences or medical or dentistry background, who in the course of their day-to-day practice find that they confront legal and ethical issues and really want to develop a deeper understanding of that. We call our program the Medical Law and Ethics program. We take that second part very seriously. So it's not just a grounding in medical law and the law as it relates to life sciences and research more broadly, but indeed the kind of bioethical issues that arise in these topics. So we have fundamental training in bioethics and ethical concepts that I really think set us apart. Not only do we look at classic topics in medical law, as I say, end of life, reproductive issues, consent to treatment, and so on. But in fact, our core strengths really are in looking at aspects of health research. So things like law and genetics, regulation of healthcare professionals, particularly those that are engaged in research, topics like data protection as relates to health research. So really, these, I think, are our core strengths. The Medical and Ethics program has a range of scholars who focus on different aspects of medical and ethics. My own strengths lie primarily in health research regulation, and within that I look at traditionally data protection issues, so both the new EU General Data Protection Regulation and the UK's kind of instantiation of that, the Data Protection Act 2018, as it relates to health research. Other aspects I look at our research ethics committees, particularly within the NHS. So I've conducted empirical research regarding NHS recs and how they go about doing their work. And related to that is just a general interest in empirical legal research as it relates to health research regulation broadly.
Hi, I'm Annie Sorbie. I'm a lecturer in medical law and ethics at the University of Edinburgh. I come from a professional background, so I was a practicing lawyer in health and social care for many years before taking up my current position. I lead our courses for the fundamental issues in medical jurisprudence, which is one of our foundational courses, and I also lead our course, the Governance of Innovative Medicine. So in both of those courses I bring to bear my professional experience in terms of how the courts work and how cases are considered, but I also, my research is mainly around sharing health data in health research and also around the role of the public interest, and they're all topics you'll see cropping up in our classes.
My name is Gerard and I'm a lecturer in medical law and ethics at Edinburgh Law School, and I teach a range of subjects in the medical law and ethics area, and I also teach patent law. Well, I'm very interested in a number of different areas, but particularly in terms of medical negligence. I'm interested in studying the process of litigation, how it unfolds. And through my teaching, I take the students step by step through the structure and the building blocks of building a case and defending a case and arguing different points. And in terms of patent law, I'm really interested in the issues facing companies in developing new life science products, and also, but in the public interest aspects of perhaps giving companies too much power or too much control over products that are needed to be disseminated widely through society. So looking at some of those policy tensions as well as the legal aspects.
I'm Emily Poston. I'm an early career fellow in bioethics, which means effectively I'm a bioethicist. I'm interested in the ethical issues raised by medicine, by healthcare, by research and so forth. And my research interests are quite broad. They're about conceptual issues in bioethics like autonomy and identity, but also really applied stuff. Like reproductive ethics and neuroethics, and that comes through in some of the more social and biotechnological courses that I teach on. But one of the courses that I'm an organizer and a lead tutor on is the Fundamentals in Bioethics course, which is a really great grounding in ethics that sits alongside the really firm grounding in law that you'll get from your other courses on this degree. And it's not just about the kind of technical moral philosophy of ethics, but really about critical thinking, about analytical skills, and those are woven through and useful to all the courses on the programme.